Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? For those of you who may not know me, my name is Renarda Joy, and for the next 30 days, I have committed to giving you tools, tips, and insight for those of you who are new to real estate investing. Now, my mission is to shrink the intergenerational wealth gap through real estate investing, and I have been using this platform to sound the alarm. Now, if you're just joining us, we are on day 23. Yes, day 23. And I want to personally invite you to go back and listen to any of the previous conversations that you may have missed. Leave a comment. If you got any value, leave it there. And I promise I will come back and respond. Now, for those of you who are here with me, I want to know who you are. Yes, I want to know where you're from and what value have you gotten for those of you who have been here for the last couple of weeks with me. So today I want to answer a question. Does one size fit all? No, not for real estate. Real estate is not a cookie cutter experience. What works for one investor may not work for another investor. Let me give you an example. Hey, Leah. I'm so used to Rosalind being here, but hey, Leah from Atlanta. Buying strategies. There's different buying strategies. There's buy and hold, there's fix and flip, and there's the BRRRR method, right? Which stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, rinse, and repeat. You may have an investor that may do a combination of all of those buying strategies. We all have different constraints. You may have an investor that may have more savings, or an investor who has access to somebody who can give them a personal loan, or maybe another investor may have to go to a lending facility. Again, different constraints. One constraint that I always want to reiterate to you guys is we have different knowledge constraint. It's very, very important that you gain all of the knowledge that you can to be an informed investor, what I call a legacy setter. This is how you mitigate risk, right? The one constraint that we all share is we all have the same 24 hours in a day, but we spend it differently. We all have different property types that could sway us. For instance, you may like multifamilies. I might like single families. Maybe one of us likes storages. Somebody else might like parking lots. You get what I'm saying? There's so many different constraints out there. But I want to go over some interpersonal skills that we each should have. The first one is huge. It's a soft interpersonal skill, but we should have it, which is called communication. Yes, communication is key and vital to any relationship. You also have to be an active listener, right? I remember when I was in school and somebody would be sitting next to me and they would be talking, and then the teacher would turn around and then we both would get in trouble. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything. But she was like, it takes two. But now I understand I was actually being an active listener. Now, being an active listener means I am paying attention to all of the details, and I'm not like playing double dutch waiting to get in, because when you're doing that, you're not listening. You're just waiting for your time to insert yourself into the conversation. Hey, Rosalind, I just said hi to you a few minutes ago, but it was Leah. So the next thing is you have to have social cues, right? You have to be able to look people in the eye, give hand gestures, handshake, fist pumps, whatever works for you. Believe it or not, a lot of people count punctuality as a form of social cues. I'll give you an example. If an investor set up a time to meet with you and you don't call and you don't show up, they may feel like you're wasting their time. But the same thing holds true vice versa. If you schedule schedule a time to meet with a seasoned investor and they blow you off and they don't call you, well, that's disrespect. Just because you're not a seasoned investor does not make it okay to stand you up. This next interpersonal skill is huge. It's big. It's called negotiation. Yes. You should always work to have a win-win situation, right? Negotiation is a conversation. It's not a battle or a debate. You should not try and see who's going to have the loudest bark. That doesn't mean that that's the person that's going to win. Negotiation is a strategic way to resolve problems. That's all it is. Don't look at it as nothing more and nothing less. The next interpersonal skill set that you should have is patience. Yes. We live in a world with a microwave mindset. We want it now and we want it when we want it. Remember, real estate is a transactional process. If you put in an offer today, you may not hear anything until the end of the day or tomorrow or even a couple of days. Let's say you're going to close on that property. It's going to happen in the near future, not today. And let's say you need a permit. Depending on the city or the town, it may take some time. Again, I just want to manage your expectations and let you know you have to have patience. Slow and steady wins the race. The next thing is you have to be tactful. Yeah, this goes a little bit back to communication. I want you to be firm and assertive, but I don't want you to burn bridges. You don't have to be rude and disrespectful. I'm sure you guys have heard the world isn't as big as we think that it is. Real estate investing is a whole lot smaller than that. So you don't want to burn bridges. You want to continue to be able to network with people. You never know when you may need someone, when you might need them to partner up on a project, or when you might need some answers or information from them. So again, remember, if you haven't listened to any of our conversations, go back, re-listen to those conversations, because we talked about the whole goal is for us to create a legacy, right? Now, for me, my grandfather left me a legacy of love, respect, and the need to be a problem solver through real estate. Yes, I love solving housing problems. Now, remember, it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. You should always ask yourself, is what you're doing part of the legacy that you want to leave behind? So my question is, what are you leaving in your legacy? All of these interpersonal skills that we just talked about, you can leave that in your legacy. Now, I want to hear from you. I want to know if you've gotten any value, or if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Now, if you're watching this outside of my Facebook business page, I invite you to come and join me at renardajoylive.com. That's renardajoylive.com. Now, I don't want you to join for the likes. I want you to join so that you can share this information. I'm sure there's a lot of people that really need to get the information of how to be, you know what I'm going to say, an informed investor, what I call a legacy setter. I need your help to help me shrink this intergenerational wealth gap. Now, if you're just joining our conversation, we are on day 23, and I invite you to listen to this conversation and any other conversations that you may have missed. And for those of you who have been here for a while, if you've gotten any value, or if there's anything, guys, that you want me to talk about as we are winding down our 30-day series, please leave it in the comments. Now, I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, 6 p.m. EST. Have a good evening.